It's really fascinating how what many hold as the pure divine Lord's Prayer is, um, actually deeply rooted in Jewish tradition.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's eye-opening to think that every line we recite echoes ancient Jewish prayers that predated Jesus by centuries, right?
Exactly. It's like, the traditional structure of the Lord's Prayer parallels what we know from
Yep.
the Kaddish and the Amidah. Jesus, being a Jew, naturally worked from that rich heritage.
Right, that really shakes up the common idea that it popped out of nowhere, purely divine and unique. Instead, it's more of a rearticulation of long-standing Jewish liturgical themes.
And, think about it. Phrases like, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name, almost mirror how the Kaddish begins. It's essentially a call for sanctification of God's name, just
Mm-hmm.
rephrased.
It's really like seeing two different canvases painting the same picture, isn't it? Where Jesus distills centuries of liturgical practice into a format accessible to everyone.
Yes, yeah, and that's the revolutionary part. The prayer wasn't meant to be this closed-off, sacred incantation reserved for certain elites or priestly classes. It was a portable, public
Right.
theology.
I mean, making it so anyone could recite it kind of undermined the lofty temple system, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's like, while the established religious hierarchy held tight control over who got to approach the divine, Jesus was basically saying, hey, this is for everyone, even the common folk.
Mm-hmm. And that's pretty subversive, especially back when the temple and its rituals were the gatekeepers of spiritual access. It really democratized prayer.
Right, you are. Think about it. The Amidah, with its detailed, almost ritualistic nature, wasn't exactly something the average person could memorize and recite daily. Jesus condensed that into something, at once memorable and profoundly revolutionary.
But, don't you think some might argue that this simplification, while empowering, also strips away theological nuance? Where's the depth?
That's a fair point. It might look like a loss in detail, yet I'd say it's more like distilling the essence. It's like it's like taking a rich symphony and isolating its main theme so that anyone can hum along regardless of their background.
Mm-hmm. True, but then again, one might wonder if in doing so, we lose out on the layered worship that the more extensive prayers offered.
Sure, there's a trade-off. However, the idea was to make the divine accessible, breaking barriers between the elites and the everyday believer. It challenges the status quo, which was by no means a trivial feat at the time.
Right on. And that challenge wasn't just spiritual. It had political and social connotations too, didn't it? Like the call for, Thy kingdom come, isn't merely a theological wish, but a demand for, tangible change.
Exactly, think about it. The original context of the Kaddish had a layer of political urgency too. Under Roman rule, declaring God's kingdom was inherently rebellious. It was a public cry for justice and restoration.
Mm-hmm, yes. So, when Jesus recasts that phrase, he's channeling centuries of hope, like really making it a call to arms for the oppressed.
Right. And not only that. Look at, Give us this day our daily bread. That's directly resonant with the Jewish invocation of manna and daily sustenance from God. It ties into the concept of depending on the divine for everyday needs, grounding spirituality in the reality of life's struggles.
Yes, absolutely. It's almost like a poetic shorthand for the entire Jewish narrative of survival and hope.
Exactly. And then consider, lead us not into temptation, a phrase that tends to puzzle people even
Yep, it's been
today.
debated a lot. I always found that line interesting. At first glance, it sounds like you're asking God to, steer clear of you. But it's really a plea for strength against our own weaknesses.
Exactly. It has roots in Jewish expressions that implore God to prevent us from falling into error or sin. It's, less about placing blame on the divine and more about acknowledging human vulnerability.
Right. And what about deliver us from evil? That line seems loaded with multiple interpretations, doesn't it?
Oh, totally. In the original context, evil or the evil one could refer to anything from the oppressive Roman regime to internal moral failings. It's deliberately ambiguous to capture all forms of corruption and wrongdoing.
I like how that ambiguity invites individual interpretation, like whether you're thinking of personal temptation or a broader political evil doing.
Indeed. And that's the genius of it. It makes the prayer a kind of spiritually and socially dynamic template. It serves as both a personal plea and a collective call for revolution against any force of oppression.
It's really a bridge, isn't it? Not just between Judaism and Christianity, but also between private piety and public activism.
Yes, exactly. And that's what makes this so provocative. Even, forbidden knowledge for some, because it challenges established narratives about the divine
Absolutely.
origins of the prayer.
It almost turns the prayer into a kind of manifesto, a subtle yet powerful rebuke to the religious authorities who hoarded access to spiritual life.
Precisely. By empowering everyone to recite it, Jesus was essentially redeploying spiritual authority, turning it from an elitist ritual into a communal experience.
Yeah, I get that. But then, let me ask you this. Do you think this reinterpretation diminishes the beauty or mystery that many believers experience in the prayer today?
Honestly, I don't see it that way. I think instead of diminishing it, it enriches our understanding. It reminds us that our traditions are, shared journeys across time. It's like discovering hidden layers beneath what we thought was a straightforward prayer.
For sure. I can see that. It turns the prayer into something living and, evolving. A connection to a heritage that extends far beyond the boundaries of a single religion.
Exactly. And that recontextualization, it's what makes us re-examine the separation we so often fabricate between Judaism and Christianity. It shows that the roots run deep and are intertwined, carrying forward the same calls for justice, sustenance, and, divine protection.
Right, it really blurs the lines. And, it adds a layer of, radical empowerment for the everyday believer. That's not just comforting. It's challenging. It's a call to action.
Yeah. Imagine standing in a church or at a revival, hearing those words, and knowing that you're not just participating in a ritual, you're part of a long tradition of bold,
Completely.
even subversive faith.
It's really like the prayer was designed to unsettle the status quo, urging both personal transformation and a collective push against oppressive systems.
Exactly. And that's why every time the Lord's Prayer is recited, it carries with it a reminder of its revolutionary roots, a testament to the transformative power of communal, accessible spirituality.
Very true. Wow. This deep dive truly opens up a whole new perspective on a prayer many hold so sacred. It makes you wonder about, what other traditions might have hidden histories waiting to be rediscovered.
Absolutely. It's like every word has a story, a history of struggle and hope that transcends time. And if this discussion makes you, think twice about reciting it, then that's the kind of impact it was always meant to have.
Right. Thanks for such an engaging, thought-provoking conversation. It's been eye-opening to peel back the layers of something we all assumed was, fixed in time.
Absolutely. It shows us that sometimes what we take for granted has a rich tapestry of history, challenge, and revolutionary zeal woven right beneath the
Exactly.
surface.
And with that, we're reminded to always question, explore, and dig deeper, even into the most familiar parts of our faith.
Perfectly said. Till next time, keep questioning and keep discovering those hidden depths in our traditions.